What is your American dream?
My American dream is that we just stop talking about walls. A society without walls. That's my American dream.
I pray for, everyone to be happy and be at peace.
People come to this country for the same reasons. They try to get away from what's going on at home, and we should embrace each other. Got two things. I hope that Spanish is prosperous for our son Dion, who's 8 years old now, and we hope that he will be taking over our company in the future.
My American dream is I have to successful my every single thing because I have one daughter and my wife. So that's I want my good hard work and give it to them.
My American dream is one day I have my home pancake all over the place.
I'm living it. The fact that I'm able to open up my own food truck and be able to represent my culture and be able to expose it and just kind of create unity representing Ethiopians and Eritreans.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Groundhog Sam! Don't worry, Knickers. I know you're real. Oh, hello, everybody. I hope you had a great weekend. Well, I'm just sitting here contemplating Knickers, the huge steer that we talked about on Friday's show. Did you miss Friday's episode of Bradshaw Live? Well, if you did, Brad and Jonathan played Real or Fake News with Belgium Kim as the moderator. The one about Knickers, the large steer that lives in Australia, caused a lot of kerfuffle because Brad and Jonathan thought that it was a true story and not a fake one. Even though he is a big steer, he's 6'4", The cattle rancher who owns Knickers put him next to the Wagyu cattle, who are only 4.5 feet tall. And these are babies. They're not even a year old yet. And Knickers is 7. So basically, this picture is an optical illusion. Yes, Knickers the Holstein steer is real and very happy living in Australia. I mean, it's not like he's Paul Bunyan's Babe the Bull. So anyway, that was a trick question, and it really got everyone's knickers in a knot. Ha ha ha, get it? His name is Knickers. It's the time that you've all been waiting for. It's time for Bradshaw Live with Brad, Bernstein, and co-host Belgium Kim. Enjoy! Knickers, you have the right idea, though. I'm going to start hanging out with shorter creatures so I feel really massive, too. Ha 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 ha.
Hello, everybody. It's Bradshaw Live. Why is it Bradshaw Live? Because I'm Brad, and I'm live. And it is Monday, December 3rd, 2018. It's right here on my cards. And I am joined by the ever beautiful, lovely, very special woman in my life, at least for 2 hours every day. At least for 2 hours every day. Belgium Kim, how are you? Right? You are my wife for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Right? We are husband wife for 2 hours, and then we say goodbye to each other. So we are like a husband and wife because there's no.
It's the healthiest, most sustainable relationship I've ever been in.
That is correct. We don't sleep together.
Nope.
We don't go out to dinner together.
Nope.
We don't really do anything together.
No, we have drinks in a group setting sometimes.
Correct. That's about it. That's about it. We have group setting drinks.
Man, this is
basically what a husband and wife would do in a completely dead, boring marriage. Spend 2 hours together and leave.
I feel like it's the perfect relationship. We really cracked the code.
It is. I think we figured it out. We figured it out here. So what's going on, Belgium Kim? How was your weekend? I didn't even speak to you all weekend.
That's
I had
true.
no idea what you were doing.
That's true. It was delightful.
What was my
Brad.
wife doing over the weekend?
Well, there were men involved. No.
Yeah. Were there men involved? You
No,
cheated
there were
on
no
me.
men involved this
Okay,
weekend. I
all right.
baked bread. I baked a bread.
Very nice.
It was delicious.
Yes.
And I attended my first Soul Cycle class.
Oh,
Brad.
okay. That's good.
I did.
And
It
you,
worked out.
And they play the music, and then they like stand up, and then you got to stand up and
Yeah,
sit down.
and it's like
stand
totally
up and
dark.
sit down.
Yeah,
right?
it's like a club
Were you
on
dying?
a bike.
Were you dying?
Yeah, by the end I was like, as a
you
matter
were
of fact, the instructor came up to me with like this, it was pitch dark and there was one candle lit, and she came up to me and she was like, blow the candle out, and I was so winded and dead that I
couldn't
could
do it.
not blow out that damn candle. It's
God.
true. All in all, but go to Soul Cycle. It was delightful.
Okay, but
It was
very nice,
delightful.
very nice. Let's
What
see.
about you, Brad? What you do this
What did
weekend?
I do this weekend? I went holiday shopping for all the loved ones in my family.
Ah.
Yes.
Like including like a work wife, if you will.
No,
like
no. We talked
like a
about
2-hour.
we talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
In the production
We
room.
did, we did.
Right, because you asked me, but I was selfish enough and didn't ask you what you did this weekend.
That's true.
Right, which
But
is
that's
very
okay.
true. Right, but I was walking through.
Right.
And you said, well, how did you buy me anything? And I said, no.
Yeah.
I love you, but I only bought for the people I'm obligated to love.
Jilly Bean and I were both
Right.
incredibly hurt.
That's right. I'm not obligated to love you, but I love you nevertheless.
Well, if it isn't it by choice, then you should be getting us a gift
Perhaps.
by choice.
Perhaps. I mean, but then
Just saying.
you can't really, where do you end it? It's a slippery slope. And I got to get everyone on the Brad Squad a gift. Right?
Just your favorites.
I
Brad.
mean, every top fan, every top commentator.
That's true.
Okay, people will be. It would never end.
That's true.
I would be shopping for months.
That's true.
I mean, think about it. What would you get Deion Watson? Christy Consali. I don't even know what she likes. What does she wear? Do you think she likes big, blue, green? I don't know.
That's true. I don't know.
Right, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, Brad.
Carol
it's
Anderson,
so
the
hard.
Tiger. What would she get for Christmas?
What would she get for
I
Christmas?
don't know.
Brad?
Kennedy. What am I going to get that guy, Kennedy Roy?
What's Kennedy Roy gonna get?
Like, I don't know. He's probably gonna say, you can give me a wallet with some money in it.
I'll take that too.
Right?
Actually.
You'll take that one?
See, and I
That's
feel
a good.
like
Isn't that a good Christmas gift? You get him a wallet and then you put some money in it.
I feel like I can confidently speak on behalf of the entire Brad
That
squad
would
when
be
we're
good.
all okay. That's a one-size-fits-all
That's a one-size-fits-all, right?
Absolutely.
You're like, you open it up. You're like, I don't know. There's only like 25 cents in here. What's going on here?
Listen,
Yeah.
beggars can't be choosers.
That is true. Well, we're in the Christmas. We are definitely in the Christmas spirit now here in New York. Wherever I go, you hear deck the halls with food and holly.
Yes.
Right, wherever I go, I'm hearing that.
and
Is it food and holly or food and jolly?
With boughs of holly.
Bombs of holly. I don't know how the words go. But I hear the music. And then what? Santa Claus is coming to town. I hear that one a lot.
Absolutely. What's your least favorite Christmas song? Like the one where you hear it and you're like,
I
no.
can't take it.
Yeah. What is it?
Jingle bells.
What?
Yes.
That's a classic,
No,
Brad.
Jingle Bells drives me crazy.
Ah.
And then, because every time I hear it, I always think when I was young, like 5, 6 years old.
Yeah.
All the when you were 5, 6 years old, it'd be like Jingle Bells, Batman smells. It still goes through my head.
Donkey laid an
Yeah.
egg.
It still goes through my head, and I am 50 years old. And every time I hear that song, that's what goes through my head. There we go.
Oh,
there we are. It's the Christmas spirit.
Ah. That's
You think
delightful.
Santa's on his way? That would
really
be great
funny.
if Jenny from the cubicle dressed up as Santa came running across right now. That would have been perfect.
She's our resident
Yes,
dresser upper.
yes, she always comes dressed up in costumes.
That's true, that Jenny. We can't stop her even
Yes,
if we tried.
That is right. That is right. Well, we got to say hello to everybody.
Yeah.
I wonder what everybody's going to be doing for Christmas. What are you doing for Christmas, by the way?
I'm gonna go celebrate with my family in Belgium.
Okay, because for everybody our last show is going to be Friday, December 15th.
14th.
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 Correct.
Yeah.
Friday, December 14th will be our last show for 2017.
Right.
And then we all disperse 2018.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what year I'm in, and I don't know what date this show ends. But I do know all your immigration questions, that's for sure.
Perfect.
And it will be our last show of the year in 2018. And then we are all going to disperse and go our separate ways. For instance, Belgium Kim, shockingly, will be going to Belgium.
Really shooting for the stars
Correct.
on this one.
Right. Jilly Bean, for example.
Jilly Bean.
Shockingly.
We'll go to Jilly Bean Land.
Correct.
Right?
Jenny from the cubicle is going to stay right there in the cubicle all of Christmas. Right?
We name people by their geography.
Geography. She's just going to be there in the cubicle. But we got to say hello to Christy Consali. Jasmine Jackson says hello, everybody. Dionne Watson, what's up? Carol Anderson, the Tiger. Lisa Bling Rose. Dionne Watson. Who's saying squat up? Here we are. Carol, Eris, Hoperell. Hello. Oh, no, she didn't say squat up. She said hello. Kenny Roy saying hello. Finally, we got our first squat up. Lynn Brown, squat up family. Hey, Brad, Kimmy, and Yo-Yo, who is right now practicing for his Christmas spectacular.
That's right.
Right. I'm going to miss his show because I'm going to be away.
What?
Yeah, I booked my Christmas trip before I knew he was going to be on Broadway.
Oh, no.
Yes, I already had my plane tickets. I told him. He's very disappointed.
Yeah, that is disappointing because we're going to do it as an outing. It's going to be one hell of a Bradshaw Live outing.
That would be fun. So you have to definitely take pictures.
We will.
Lisa Bling Rose, hello. How you doing? And who else we have here? Marjorie Thompson, Marge Higgs. I said Christy Consali. Burke Madera. Dawn Harriet. Dennis Ute.
Yes.
What's a Ute?
It's a youth, Brad. I know.
I know.
now.
Jella Shorter, Lynn Brown, and Sankey White. And Sankey White says that's long, Brad. Yes. But you want to know what, Sankey? And I'm being honest with you. You know, between like the 15th and the 1st, people are just into Christmas. They're not into, you know, shows, you know, or, you know, watching Facebook Live.
Yeah.
They're with their family.
Yeah.
So it's a good time to take a break.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be back January 2nd.
Yep.
After all the revelry is over.
Nope.
No revelry over.
No, the revelry will be over, but we're not going to be back January 2nd, right?
When will we be back?
Isn't it January 7th?
January 7th.
Yeah. Is that not right?
I don't remember.
Let me double check that calendar.
I will be back January 2nd.
January 7th.
Okay.
January
I personally will be back January 2nd. I will be personally back January 2nd, but the show doesn't personally come back till January 7th.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. And Belgium Kim says, deck the halls with food and holly. It's definitely, but that's the Jewish way to do it. Deck the halls with food and challah.
Oh,
you know what challah is? That's
I love
the bread
challah.
from you.
That's the only thing that French toast should be made out of.
Yes,
is challah bread.
that is correct.
Absolutely.
And Kanisha Theowell says she's just going to rewatch everything.
That's you can go through a whole Bradshaw Live December rewatch.
Right. All right. So we don't have a lot of people watching today, unfortunately, because it's the Christmas time.
It's the Christmas spirit. Even big shows go on winter
Big shows
hiatus.
go on hiatus. And
Yeah.
you can just see from the viewership, and then in January they all come back again.
Yeah, everybody's like, oh wait, I have immigration problems. I should probably be handling.
Right. Oh, you know what? I don't have any joy in my life anymore because Christmas is over.
Right.
We need Belgium Kim and Brad to give us joy back.
The joy is here.
That's right. You already have the joy. You don't need to join us right now.
Exactly.
Right?
Everybody's just too
And
happy
Abigail
already.
Taylor Watson says we will be back on her anniversary.
Yeah, that's when she thought that we were back on the 2nd. Fake news.
I'm back on your anniversary, but we will not be live till the 7th.
That's right.
Right. So we'll be off 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Wow.
3 weeks.
Wow.
It's almost as if the look on your face makes it seem like it's almost like you don't dictate the times we're on the air.
Yeah, but I didn't know it was going to be 3 weeks when I came up with this plan. I'm like, wow, that's a long time to miss everybody. What's wrong with me?
We're going to be in withdrawal by the end of it.
Maybe we should come back earlier, or unless you have plans already.
I don't have plans right now.
You don't have plans. Does anybody have plans?
I think people probably
What about
have
Julian, the
plans.
TriCaster guy? Because he has to run the TriCaster. Does he have plans?
Maybe he has plans. I don't know what
Julian,
his plans are.
thumbs up or thumbs down. January 2nd. He runs the TriCaster. Is he going to go, or a big... Yes, he says...
has plans.
No, he says, no, come back January 2nd.
Is that what that means?
Yes.
Wait, does the ding 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 mean you don't have plans?
Yeah, by the way, just so everybody knows, Julian is a mute. Okay? He is. He never talks, this guy. He just sits there and smiles and makes weird sounds on his computer. So, what? It's true. Is it true or not true? I always come in every morning and go, Julian, how are you? And he goes, ding, 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 ding.
It's true.
It's true.
That's exactly what happens.
So,
He
Julian,
has a
let me ask you a
soundboard.
question.
Yeah.
Does ding, ding, ding mean yes, you want to start January 2nd, or yes, I have plans, I cannot start January?
That's not
That wouldn't work, because he's going to say ding, ding, ding either way.
Is the ding? You have to attribute
fine.
one to the ding,
Okay,
one
fine.
to the buzz.
Okay. Ding, ding, ding,
Yeah.
which was what you just did, means yes, let's start January 2nd.
Right. I didn't need you to finish.
And the buzz means Sorry, I got plans. I got plans. I'm not doing it.
Wait, so just to be clear, which one was that, Julia?
All right, so we have nobody to run the TriCaster then.
No, we don't.
I'm so glad this guy doesn't talk.
Boy, he really gets his point across,
Yes,
doesn't
he really does, though. He's very emphatic.
Very
emphatic.
opinionated.
Yeah, very opinionated. It's not true. Julia does talk. I'm making it up.
I was going to let you correct the record.
Yes. All right, Belgium Kim, why don't you tell everybody to share, and then we're going to get into our schmooze.
You guys, it's so simple to share, and today you're going to do it out of the kindness of your heart because people need free immigration advice. You're going to hit that button. It says share. You're going to share it onto your own timeline, onto friends' timeline, and most importantly, into groups of which you are a member. It can be anyone who might possibly need free immigration advice, which is basically everyone right now. And on YouTube, you're going to share, you're going to copy the link, and then you're going to send it to WhatsApp groups and text messages and every other messaging platform you use to spread the word. Thanks, family.
Okay. And meanwhile, we got Damien from Boston, Massachusetts on hold with his immigration question.
Yes.
We're going to get to you in a few minutes. That's the only person on hold right now. We're going to schmooze a little bit. We're going to warm up the telephone lines, 1-800-529-5465. Perhaps Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson with my head will be coming by on the screen. There he is, Dwayne, and he's asking you to call right now to have your immigration questions answered. While Damien, hang in there, and while we're waiting for people to call in, Belgium Kim,
Yes.
we will be schmoozing.
Ooh. Oh!
What is that a picture of? Wait,
That
can we
would
see
be a
again?
cup of coffee.
Wait, let's see that again.
Oh, I'm a fan of that.
Schmoozing. I like that.
I
like
like that.
Okay, very, very good. I like it.
I'm gonna have my little
I
cup
like
of coffee.
that. All right. So meanwhile, you heard, unfortunately, George Herbert Walker Bush.
Yes.
The father passed
father.
away this weekend.
Yeah.
About 8 or 9 months after his wife Barbara passed away.
Yeah.
You know, at the time, you know, if anybody remembers, he was president between 88 and 92. So he was president during the fall of communism.
Right.
And he didn't get credit at the time, but he's now getting credit 30 years later for basically keeping the peace.
Right.
All right. I mean, his contribution to the world was that there was there was a Cold War, and by the way, Ronald Reagan gets credit for ending the Cold War, but it didn't end on Ronald Reagan's watch.
Right.
The Cold War ended on George Herbert Walker Bush's watch.
Right.
And it was a very dangerous time in the 60s and 70s and mid-80s. United States and the Soviet Union bloc, which was all of Eastern Europe, and as well as the Soviet Union, which is now Russia, that we had 20,000 nuclear missiles pointed at each other, you know, juiced up, gassed up, and ready to press a button. Done.
Right.
And during the fall of communism, a lot of that nuclear material could have gotten in the wrong hands.
Yeah.
There could have been rogue nations that maybe wanted to keep the status quo to perhaps even start a war.
Right.
There could have been a lot of bad outcomes. And we got the best outcome of them all, which was a peaceful revolution throughout all of Eastern Europe and Russia.
Yeah.
And now, 25 years later, really, even though the iconic scene from the 1980s with the Cold War was Ronald Reagan at the Berlin Wall saying, "Mr. Gorbachev, please tear down this wall."
Right.
The reality is, Ronald Reagan was not president during the end of
real fall of
the fall of communism across Eastern Europe and Russia.
Yeah.
And now George Herbert Walker, you know, when people look back on the basis of history, says that it took a really special statesman, which he was, which his son may not have been, which Donald Trump certainly is not, but it took a very special statesman who had very good relationships with many people to navigate behind the scenes to make sure that ultimately no wars broke out from the fall of communism and everything was done peacefully. And he even advocated and insisted on the reunification of Eastern Germany and Western Germany, which really solidified the entire peaceful process.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
He does not get enough recognition.
And now in his death,
Yeah.
okay, at his death, despite the fact that Donald Trump insulted his son,
Right.
Jeb Bush,
Yeah.
called him low energy,
Yep.
okay, insulted George Bush,
Absolutely.
said he did a terrible job in Iraq. Basically, the Bushes and the Trumps don't like each other at all.
No.
President Trump was responsible. His political career started by having that false birther movement
Yeah.
against President Obama, saying that he was never born in the United States, when that is a factual lie.
Right.
That's how his political career actually started, on a lie.
Yeah.
You know, you think about it.
The birther movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And he's telling people to lock up former President Bill Clinton's wife.
Right.
Even to this day,
Absolutely.
Hillary Clinton. And the only thief is really him.
Right, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Despite all of this.
Yeah.
Despite all of this, George Herbert Walker Bush, who now history looks very kind on.
Yeah.
They did not look on him kind in 1992. They said he was an ineffective, weak president.
Right.
But now it's funny, in 25, 30 years later, in hindsight, he's looked on as an extraordinarily effective president. As a matter of fact, I even read an article that there's an argument to be made that he was the most effective one-term president in the United States, in the history of the United States of America.
Wow.
You know, the most effective president only to have ever served one term.
Right.
Simply because of, he even in the first Iraq War, he didn't do it alone.
Yeah.
He did it with the backing of the entire world, was behind the United States on the first Iraq War. And after he got Iraq to, he liberated Kuwait, because the war started because Iraq invaded Kuwait.
Right.
He stopped. He didn't go into Iraq, destroy their country, arrest Saddam Hussein. He didn't do any of that. His son did that.
Right.
Right, but he didn't do that.
Yeah.
All right, he said, no, that's not the purpose of this war.
Right.
The purpose of this war was to liberate. The world stood behind the United States, and at that time, you look back, the United States had some pretty good stature.
Right.
Unlike what we have today.
And he liberated Kuwait in like 9 months.
In 9 months, 9 days.
That's the
Right.
9 days.
Yeah, well, I mean, the war was like 9 days.
Right,
But, it took a couple months to,
Right.
to get everybody on board. And that was very important to him. So with all of that said, and the acrimony between the Trumps and the Bushes, George Herbert Walker Bush, in his last wishes, said that he wanted to have Donald Trump at his funeral nevertheless.
Wow.
Why? Not because he likes Donald Trump, but he said that he respects the presidency. And Donald Trump is the president of the United States, whether I like him or not, and I respect the presidency. And ultimately, the office of the presidency is more important than any political dispute that we would have.
Yeah.
And as a result, I want him there. And he always thought that, by the way, because he and Bill Clinton, Bill Clinton, who beat him in the 1992 election, and he lost because Bush raised taxes.
Right.
And he had the famous line, "Read my lips, no more taxes."
And then he raised
taxes. So that's why he lost. But even when he lost to his predecessor, Bill Clinton, they forged a friendship that even lasted. And I believe even Bill Clinton may even be saying something at the funeral, I believe.
I think if I remember correctly, I think they all are speaking.
All the presidents, but Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Donald Trump will not be speaking.
Yep.
Right.
So
that's what's going on, and I'm not sure what day is the funeral. Is it tomorrow?
Wednesday.
It is Wednesday.
Yeah, I heard a great story about a reporter who asked him why he was at the airport when Barack Obama came to visit College Station, Texas, and he said, politics aside, it doesn't matter. As if a sitting president of this country comes to visit, I will be there to greet them.
That is correct.
That's
right. But you don't have that today.
No, you don't.
You don't have
no,
that
you
today,
don't.
unfortunately. Meanwhile, the future head of the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, he was supposed to be confirmed, the top ICE official.
Yeah.
The confirmation process is delayed now
Why?
because it came up that in 2016, he tweeted a picture of Dennis the Menace and Donald Trump together.
What?
This is the same man, side-by-side comparisons of Dennis the Menace and Trump, who was then a presidential candidate, with the words, this is what it looked like. This I can tell you 100% Oh, that's not that. Oh, this was it. This was it. This I can tell you 100%. Vitello was the Border Patrol chief at the time.
They do look
right.
alike.
They do look alike. They look very much alike, Dennis the Menace and Donald Trump. Except Dennis the Menace got in funny trouble. Donald Trump gets in some serious.
Yeah, it's not funny anymore.
Serious trouble.
Yes.
So now, because he mocked Donald Trump, and Donald Trump didn't know it at the time, I think they have put the process on hold. I'm not exactly sure what ultimately will be happening with that.
Right. That's so funny.
Yeah. And then also in the news today I read, you know who Kid Rock is? He's the rocker, Republican rocker.
Yeah.
Right. You like him?
He had some hits. We were talking about this earlier today. He had some hits back in the day, Brad.
Back in the 90s.
Like late 90s, early 2000s.
I didn't mind him before I found out about his politics.
Right.
So he was supposed to be the Grand Marshal of the Nashville Christmas Parade.
Okay.
But then he referred to Joy Behar, who is a host on The View, as being a bitch.
What?
All right, let's watch what he had to say about Joy Behar. Or maybe not. So he says, you know what? She's a bitch, and because of that, he is no longer going to be the Grand Marshal. Instead, they've replaced him. Oh, we have it now. Let's watch.
God forbid you say something a little bit wrong. You're racist, homophobic, Islamophobic. You know, love everybody except, I'd say, screw that Joy Behar bitch.
Love everyone.
Wow. So anyway, he's no longer going to be the Grand Marshal there.
You don't say.
Right. The whole story, by the way, was because we had that video. Other than that, there would be no purpose.
That's amazing.
Right. All right. So I'm glad we got the video.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That was on Fox News.
Right.
And then Steve Ducey, who told I'm calling him Chris Rock, Kid Rock.
Kid Rock, right.
All right, different guy, Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Told him, hey, you can't say that, and then he apologized to all the viewers on Fox. Joy Behar, jumped in,
of course,
and we have this video too, and let's see what she has to say in response to Kid Rock.
All I can say is, this bitch and these bitches will be happy to have you on the show and have a beer.
All right, so there we go.
Yes, Queen.
Yes.
That's a proper.
Right.
That's a proper comeback.
So now the hero from the Waffle House shooting.
Yes.
James Shore Jr., the 29-year-old who stopped a deadly shooting at a Waffle House in May. That sounds like a better Grand Marshal than Kid Rock.
Most definitely. Waffle House hero, greater than Kid Rock.
Do you remember that story?
Yeah, I
Tell me
love
that story.
story.
Tell me that story again.
There was an armed robber who walked into this Waffle House. He killed, I think, 4 or 5 people.
Right.
And James Shaw, who was in the Waffle House, wrestled him to the ground, got the weapon away from him, saved everybody else in the Waffle House.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. And 2 more things I want to talk about, and then we're going to get to our immigration.
Okay.
Okay. Number 1, I like this. You like Ariana Grande?
I love Ariana Grande.
By the way, did you ever see pictures of her when she was younger?
Yeah.
She's had a lot of work done.
What? She looks the exact same.
No, she doesn't. Her skin is darker, is much more tanned and bronzed. They darkened
she's
her,
bronzed.
they somehow darkened her skin. If you look at her between 16 and now, she is now brown. But when she was 16, she was like a ghost, like Casper the Ghost. So I don't know what she does to her skin, if it's just a bronzer or she literally dyed her skin, but she is definitely browner than she was on a regular basis.
Okay, I see that.
Right, and she also did something with her nose and her chin. She had a lot of work done.
Oh yeah, her nose is different.
Her nose is different.
So is her chin.
And her
wow,
chin
you're
is
right.
different.
She does look completely different.
She's a completely different
wow.
person than when she was
I had no
16.
Idea. Oh, that's so disappointing.
Right.
I find her gorgeous.
But what I find really is the skin color. I find it actually a little disturbing a little bit.
Well, she's getting a lot of flack for blackfishing, especially in this last
blackfishing?
Is when you pass yourself off as black, is attempting to pass yourself off.
How do you pass yourself off as black?
With Ariana, people think she's very racially ambiguous. She's not. She's white. She's Italian. She's
but how is she pass herself? What do you do?
Darkening your skin.
Right.
By darkening your skin.
That's what I'm. Okay.
Either by makeup.
That's what I'm saying. I don't
understand
that. Yeah, I don't understand that.
Yeah, she's getting flack for it.
Right.
You're not.
It's not like I'm walking around, because I don't know what you would do to is that what it is when you darken your skin? You
Yeah,
try to
I
make
mean,
yourself?
you can do makeup. It can be an extreme amount of tanning.
Right.
But a lot of the makeup artists right now on YouTube are getting flack for it because it's makeup.
Yeah, right. I mean, right, exactly. And
Great
Donald,
point,
and,
Dilly B.
and Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Okay, he's not trying to make himself black.
No.
He's trying to make himself orange.
He wants orange.
Okay, is that orange fishing? Is that like such a thing?
Again, to avoid pissing off all the orange people in the world.
That's right.
But that's not a race.
But I'm going to tell you
Orange is
something.
not a race.
I'm going to tell you something. For all the orange people out there, I would decide to start changing your color.
Yeah,
I would
absolutely.
start. I give you
Absolutely.
permission. If
Absolutely.
you're orange, change your color. You don't want to be associated with.
And we also all know that you were not born orange.
Correct. That is very true. So, any event.
Yeah.
Even though we're giving her flack.
Yeah.
To her credit.
She's a. Yeah.
Okay, she just released her new music video called "Thank You Next,"
iconic.
which is basically her song is basically "Goodbye, Pete Davidson," right?
Right.
But
And all
in
my
the
exes.
video,
Yeah.
in the video, she is sending out a subtle message by reading immigration law books. We have the picture there, and there
Yes,
she is
queen.
reading immigration law books in her video.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, there it is, right there.
Immigration and refugee
Yes.
law and policy.
Okay, and finally,
It's a great
Brad
video.
Squad. And finally, Brad Squad, if you guys want to make a couple of dollars,
Yes, I'm in.
more than a couple of dollars,
I'm in.
there is an artist, very famous artist, by the name of Banksy. Okay, nobody really knows who this guy is.
Right.
Okay, he's some masked man
Wait,
from England.
are you Banksy?
No, I am not Banksy. And if anybody knows anything about him, he goes around in the middle of the night and he paints pictures of, politically incorrect or political pictures or graffiti that really want to make a point about something.
Right.
And he paints them on people's doors. He paints them on walls.
Yeah.
And and if you remember, just recently at Sotheby's, there was a painting that he did that went up for auction, and he remotely shredded it, and it went for sale for $1.5 million, and then it got shredded by him.
Yeah.
So he does all of these type of stunts, and if you're lucky enough to have a house that Banksy actually graffitis, you can literally take that wall off your house and sell it for $1 million, literally. So it's just lucky people get it.
Anytime you
Okay.
want to stop by
Right,
Banksy.
right. So you can give them your address.
Yeah.
Okay. So nevertheless,
Yeah.
on Instagram
Yeah.
this weekend, if you follow Banksy, you have to go to Banksy's Instagram site.
Okay.
Okay. He made a sculpture called Bemusement from Dismaland, and it is a sculpture of refugees in a boat. There it is, right there.
From his Disneyland.
Right, so
park.
he has a Dismaland park instead of a Disneyland park.
It's crazy.
And so the sculpture that he made is of refugees. If we can go back to that sculpture a second. Okay, so I'm going to tell you how you make money on this.
Okay.
Okay, because this is the whole point
Yeah,
of this.
you're gonna give me money.
Okay,
I
I'm
remember.
going to tell you how you make money on this.
Right.
So he has a sculpture on Instagram.
Yeah.
And he gives you a little bit of a hint, and he says this is what it's made of, and there's a battery in there.
Okay.
And the boat actually moves, and it's a boat of refugees.
Okay.
And if you guess the weight,
Yeah.
all you have to do is go online and guess the weight, and pay $2.50
Okay.
to a charity that helps refugees around the world resettle.
When you guess the weight.
When you guess the weight,
Okay.
the person, it's the Price is Right.
Yeah.
Okay, the person closest
Yeah.
to the weight, and you have to get into the milligrams, will win this sculpture.
Whoa.
This sculpture's got to be worth several $100,000, maybe even $1 million. So if it's worth a guess, it's like the lottery.
Yeah.
Okay, and he gives you hints on what it is, and you go on, and it's $2.50, and you make a donation to help refugees resettle, and you guess to purchase, to win this sculpture that's got to be worth well into the six figures, maybe $1 million, who knows? I don't know what it's worth, but it's going to be worth.
Amazing.
It's definitely going to be worth hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars for a $2.50 guess, and that $2.50 goes to help refugees.
Now, do you just get one guess, or
No.
can you keep guessing?
You can make an unlimited number of guesses to the nearest metric unit, which is milligrams.
Okay.
Provided each guess costs you $2.50.
Right. Okay.
As I said, it's a tempting prospect, given that Banksy's half-shredded work, Love, which got actually shredded, a ripped-up piece of painting, sold for $1.4 million at auction.
And probably worth more now.
Right. So, if you go to his, where do you go online to this? I saw it on Instagram.
His Instagram, I think.
Yeah, it's Banksy. It's just Banksy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. His Instagram, and then I also think choose.love is the other place.
And the website is www.choose.love. I made a guess.
Did you?
Yes.
What's your guess? You going to share it with us?
I don't remember. But I did it over the weekend. I made a guess. I did the $2.50. I did the guess.
Did you do like a random guess, or did you go into like you research the average weight of the materials?
I don't know how to convert grams to pounds because he's a British artist.
Right.
So everything's in grams and milligrams.
Okay.
So the first thing I did is I said, what is that, 20 pounds? What's 20 pounds? And then I went to Google to get the exact, and then I started going up and down from there, thinking about it. And I don't know, I guess somewhere in like the 20 to 22 pound range.
Okay.
But I changed it into grams
metrics.
and metrics. Correct.
But so there was some thought behind you. You didn't go just like willy-nilly.
Yeah, well, how much thought can you give?
Right, you can't.
The thought was, I didn't go willy-nilly like, 6 pounds.
Right.
I gave about 90 seconds of thought.
Okay.
All right, and then I converted my pounds to right.
That's another 10 seconds of Google thought.
That is correct. That is correct. All right, so that's our schmooze for the day, everybody. And we're going to get into your immigration questions now. 1-800-529-5465. Getting answers to your immigration questions right now. 1-800-529-5465. And we have Damien from Boston, Massachusetts on hold. Damien.
Hello.
How you doing?
Not bad at all. I'm doing good.
Good. What's going on?
Quick question, right? My wife, she did a biometric.
Right.
But we're waiting on the permit and the interview date.
Okay.
All right. We're moving from the address that we are now, or we are planning on moving. Would it delay the process?
Depends. Where are you moving? Are you moving out of the jurisdiction of the local office, or you're just moving down the street?
Down the street.
Okay, down the street won't delay, but you definitely have to submit an AR-11 to let them know that you've changed your address. And you can also, you should go online. You do it both ways, and go online and change your address as well at uscis.gov, so you don't not get your notice date. But moving down the street, as long as you stay in the same office jurisdiction, local office jurisdiction, you'll be fine.
Okay, and it won't, like, for instance, I should get it next week. It won't delay it?
No, there'll be no delay. Good. But there's only a delay if they have to transfer your file to a different office. That's they're not. Right. In other words, you're concerned that you move an address and your case is going to be delayed. And what I'm saying is the file stays in the same office. There's no delay. They just mail the notice to a different address. Why there is a delay when you move? Let's say you live live up in Boston, because that's where you say you live. Let's say you move to New York. Now you're in a different jurisdiction. Boston has to transfer the file from Boston to New York, and when New York receives it, it goes to the end of the line in New York, and there's your delay. But as long as Boston doesn't have to transfer the file to a different office, you're fine.
Okay, that's good.
You understand?
That's good. Yeah, I understand.
But just make sure you make the address change online and submit the AR-11. Do both.
All right. So what if they send it off before? Can I go to the post office and change it?
Of course. Do that as well. All right.
All right. Thank you very much. All right.
Best of luck.
All right.
1-800-529-5465. Let's go to Dorothy in Springfield, New Jersey. Dorothy.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
How are you, Dorothy?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Fabulous. What's going on?
Okay, I'm calling and I put my papers in from last year, August, and I got my work permit and my social, but I'm waiting on the interview date, and they don't send me none, and I'm waiting so long.
How long? So
and
last
I don't know.
So what are you saying? Last August is August 2017.
Yeah.
Okay, who's filing for you?
My husband.
All right, you got your work permit?
Yes, I got my work permit.
so
it's even up to I have to put it in back now because
you got to renew it. And let me just tell you, it's a 12 to 24 month wait now. That's what it is. So you are now approximating about 17, 18 months into this process, maybe, or 16 months into this process. I would suggest that if by the springtime you're in New Jersey and you're in Springfield, so you'll remember spring. If by springtime you still don't have a notice, you should give my office a call and let us look into it. But you got to give it 18, 20 months now these days, unfortunately.
You think so?
Yes, I think
because
so.
I have a son. I have my son too, and my son is going to school. He was 14 that time, and now he's 15, and he's getting bigger and bigger than he don't get his. So my son is into. He filed for me and my son.
Okay, that's fine, but your son could get a work permit. That's for sure. You can file the I-76.
You think I could file for a work permit for him?
Yes, you should file even if it's a baby. File for the work permit. Obviously, the baby's not going to work, but that allows you to get the Social Security number for your son.
Okay.
So do that in the meantime. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
No,
But unfortunately,
I can
yes, put in the IC. It doesn't cost you anything. Just fill it out. Put C9 as the section of law that he's entitled to a work permit. Mail it in. He'll get a work permit in a few months, and that way he can get his social. So at least he can, do some things here in America, even if he may not be working. And certainly,
because he's on the football team.
Okay, well, fabulous. Okay, so he's a good athlete, but he needs a Social Security number. So that's what you do.
Yes, you need that.
But unfortunately, in the life and times of Donald Trump as president, this is what's going on in immigration. All right. By springtime,
I kind of have that little bit of understanding, but I'm saying, do I have to pay for
his work permit?
The work permit again?
No, you shouldn't have
my
to.
one.
No.
So how do I send it in? I don't understand it.
Come see me. Hold on one second.
Where is your office?
I'm going to put you on hold. You're going to give you all your information. Let's go to Sophie in Manhattan. Sophie.
Hello?
Hi, Sophie.
Hi.
What's going on?
Are you hearing me clearly?
I hear you very clearly. You just said, "Are you hearing me clearly?" And I said, "Yes." So I hear you clearly.
Okay. So my situation is I've been married for about 6 months now, and I haven't filed any documentation as yet. I have used your services before, as a matter of fact, but I was supposed to return to do the applications with your services.
Right.
But money is a challenge because my husband is not earning enough right now. And so that's a challenge, and I haven't I haven't put together that money yet to do my filing.
Right.
So it's quite a concern. However, I have a bigger issue where I'm living at. My ads are out, and my friend called me to tell me that they received a letter with my name on it from USCIS, not USCIS, from ICE.
Yeah. What does the letter say?
Immigration.
Yeah.
I have not taken the letter. I actually did not go to the house that day because
this is what you do.
I was worried.
Okay, this is what you do. You trust the people there who said they have this letter for you, or you don't trust them?
Yeah, well, he sent me a picture of it.
Okay, he sent you a picture of it. Perfect. That's what I was going to say. Let him send you a picture of it, and what I want you to do is at the bare minimum, have a consultation with us so we can tell you what to do. But that's serious. So hold on one second, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to MD in Miami Garden, Florida. MD.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm a PR, and I'm trying to apply for my citizenship. How long does it take right now?
What's a PR? I mean, a permanent resident, you're saying?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
sir.
okay. Yeah, they're taking over 12 months.
Over 12 months.
Yeah.
Okay. My another question is, if I try to apply for like my tourist visa for my brother, little brother, and my mother, can they visit?
You don't apply for any tourist visa for your little brother and mother. Your
but they
mother
can
and
come,
brother, no, your mother and brother apply for a tourist visa, and they have to show that they're coming here to be a tourist, they're not coming here to live, and that they have enough ties to
Yes.
their home country. Has nothing to do with you applying. You don't apply
Oh,
for any
okay,
tourist
sir.
visa for them. They apply for it.
I don't invite them, nothing.
Well, I mean, you can invite them, but they're applying for it.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Like I'm in the college, so they should be coming to my graduation or
Okay,
just
wonderful.
to visit me.
Wonderful. Okay.
But there's a possible. Okay.
But I don't.
Sorry?
Do I know there's a possibility whether they're going to visit a visitor's visa? I have no idea. I don't know anything about them. They have to show that they have enough ties. I don't even know what country they live in. They have to show they have enough. You're asking me. I'm going to apply for a visitor's visa for my mother and brother. Are they going to get it? How would I have any idea? But
No, right.
but what you need to do is you got to show enough ties to your home country, to their home country, that they have enough reason to return to their home country that they're not going to live in America. That's the key thing about getting the visitor's visa. And if you want,
So they don't have nothing to do with me.
I'm sorry.
They don't have nothing to do with me. Just the tourist visa. That's it.
No, of course they have something to do with you. They're coming to visit their son who's graduating from college. What I'm saying though is that is not enough. Okay? You tell the truth.
Okay.
Okay. It's not enough the reason why you're coming. What's the most important is the reason why you're leaving. Why will you leave the United States after you visit your son? That's the most important thing.
Okay, I understand.
All right.
So they're gonna have to have a good tie in their country.
Correct.
And
Correct.
the second thing is, they have to tell that they are visiting me, their son. They're
Correct.
visiting me. They
Correct.
can tell that.
Of course. Tell the truth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you
right.
very much.
You're very
Thanks,
welcome.
sir. Thank you. Thank you for your help.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Trey in Detroit, Michigan. Trey.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. Hi, Brad. How you doing?
Good, good. What's going on?
Okay. I have a daughter in the Caribbean.
Mhm.
I'm a U.S. citizen.
Okay.
But I'm on the SSI. Am I able to file for her?
Absolutely, 100% you file for her. How old is she?
14.
Okay. So you're on Social Security disability?
No, SSI, Social Security.
Because you're over 65?
Insurance.
You're over 65?
62.
You're 62. Okay. Yeah, you can file for her. Wow, you had a daughter late in life, but good for you. You can definitely file for her. You can definitely file
Do I
for
have
her.
to have?
You don't have to have.
Do I have to have?
Now, let me
Do
finish
I
my
have to
sentence.
have affidavit of support?
Yes, you will need an affidavit of support because you probably don't earn enough on the SSI. But the SSI is not need-based government assistance. It is assistance that everybody over the age of 62, 65 gets, whether you're rich or poor. So it's not need-based. Now, if your particular income that you get from Social Security is not enough to support yourself and your daughter, then you would need an affidavit of support from a second person. How long have you been a citizen?
Since 95.
So when your daughter was born, you were already a United States citizen. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah.
She's a U.S. citizen today. You don't need to file for her. She just needs to go get her U.S. passport.
What forms do I need?
All right, so you don't have to file for her, and you don't need affidavits of support. What she needs to do is you need to go what country does she live in?
Jamaica.
Okay, so you fly to Jamaica, and you bring evidence. You bring evidence that you were living in the United States legally, whether as a citizen or as a resident, for 5 years prior to her birth, and that you were a citizen at the time of her birth, and that you are her biological father, and they will give her a U.S. passport at the U.S. Embassy.
Okay.
So that's all you need
the
to
embassy
do.
or the consulate?
The consulate.
What about the consulate?
The embassy and the consulate, the same thing, in Kingston, Jamaica.
Okay, they have a consulate in Montego Bay.
Yeah, no, they're not going to do that. Kingston, Jamaica.
Okay.
All right?
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. So we just solved that guy's problem.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
a good day when you get
Yes. Johanna in Brooklyn.
Hello.
Hi, Johanna.
Hi. Good night. I want to know whether your employer can petition to help you attain a green card.
Yes, yes, they can. Whether or not you ultimately get a green card, I don't know, but the employer can definitely sponsor you. You know, the issues with sponsorship are, one, you got to prove that you're not taking a job away from an American worker, and two, your employer can afford to pay your salary. 3, you have experience working in the job that you're getting sponsored in. And 4, finally, there's a way for you to adjust your status or go home without a 10-year bar. So those are 4 things that a lawyer has to figure out in a consultation prior to saying whether yes or no the job sponsorship would be successful.
On a B2 visa?
Okay, again, are you taking a job away from an American worker? Does your employer, I don't know these answers, and you don't know these answers either. You need a consultation. But what I'm telling you is you're asking the wrong questions. What a lawyer needs to figure out is, are you taking a job away from an American worker? Can your employer afford to pay your salary? Do you have experience working in this position? Are you eligible at the end of the case to adjust your status? Are you eligible at the end of the case to return home without a 10-year bar to pick up your green card? This is what a consultation is for. There's no way we'll figure that out on the show. So make an appointment to come see me. So the answer, which is what I said in the beginning, was yes, every employer can sponsor somebody. The answer is whether or not the sponsorship will work depends on the specific facts of the case. All right, so hold on one second, okay? All right, let's go to HERMANT in Charlotte, North Carolina. HERMANT.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
Quick question. I have a withholding of removal, and also I have a master's degree. I've been working for a little more than 5 years. So if my employer want a sponsorship for me for a green card, do I have to go back to my country to get the adjust the status?
Where are you from? Where are you from?
Nepal.
Okay, and what type of visa status are you here on at this moment?
I have a withholding of removal.
You have withholding of removal.
Right.
Okay, no, because if you leave the United States, you're self-deported. So if you're going to do a job sponsorship, you got to figure out whether or not you can adjust your status here, and you would have to reopen your deportation case. So that's a whole bag of worms. And whether or not we can, get through those bag of worms, that's another consultation. Because withholding of removal is you've been ordered deported, but they're just not going to enforce your deportation. So if you leave the country, you're self-deported. So you can't do that. So now the question is, can you adjust your status? No, you can't adjust your status because you've been ordered deported. So the first thing after you do the job sponsorship, you got to go back and tell the judge, hey, I just did a job sponsorship, reopen my deportation case because I want to adjust my status. And the judge will say, show me proof you can adjust. And we got to figure that all out. You need a consultation. You don't figure that out on this show, unfortunately, as much as I want to help you. Hold on. Just like the other lady. Let's go to DAMIEN in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Hello, Brad.
How you doing?
Yeah, I just got a quick question for a coworker of mine.
Sure.
Does USCIS send out notice when it's time to remove the conditions of the green card?
They're supposed to. They're supposed to, but generally they don't send it to you.
Okay. Because I have a friend. He just filed the I-751.
Right.
This Friday. And his wife told him that, because they're not at home, his wife told him that this thing that they have on their phone with the U.S. Post Office that shows you the mail that's coming,
right?
That there's a letter in it from immigration.
Okay.
So
they're supposed to, by regulation, send it, but I've seen too many clients never get any notice about it. So
he's just worried one day
nothing to worry about. As long as he did it within 90 days, you just have to file it within 90 days of the expiration of your 2-year card, whether immigration told you to do so or not.
Okay.
Right? So he has nothing to worry. Now it's possible that he filed his I-751 and this is his receipt for the filing. I don't know.
well, the reason why he's worried is because he did it this Friday, and he's getting the mail today. So he was like, "Oh, that's too
fast." Yeah. All right. So maybe it's just a notice to remind him. They're supposed to do it, but not everybody gets it.
Okay.
But I don't think it's anything either. He shouldn't worry. As long as he did it within that 90-day period, he's fine.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Brad.
You're welcome. Let's go to JESHUA in Provo, Utah. JESHUA.
Hello.
How are you?
Doing great.
What's going on?
Okay, the reason I'm calling is because I'm being here in the United States for 8 months.
Uh-huh.
And I'm from El Salvador, and I got a student visa, but my question is if I can apply for a green card.
Yeah, how are you going to apply for a green card? What do you want to do?
I don't know. That's my question.
Okay. So you need a consultation. You call me up, how do I get a green card? That's a consultation. You know, I have to find out a lot about you. It's about 20 minutes of questions I got to ask about you before we figure out how you get a green card. So hold on one second. All right. So there's that, Belgium Kim. There's that.
Man.
Dare dat.
You're helping a lot of people today, Brad.
Dare dat.
It's a lion.
Is that such a word, dare dat?
Dare dat is
Not a word.
That is not a thing.
All right, so we're going to get to our social media very shortly. We have social media questions?
Woo!
Woo!
Woo! Woo! They are flying in.
Wow.
We can't keep up, Brad.
Really?
We can't keep up.
Wow, why? Everybody's shy to get on?
But everybody's asking there. I'm telling you, Jenny from the Cubicle and I are tag teaming.
Tag teaming right now.
Yeah, one person.
All right, so while you get up to snuff there and get all your social media questions in order ready for me, we're going to check in on Anna Azcona, our Miami field correspondent, who is very upset.
What's she mad about this time, Brad?
To see that the Central American migrants from the caravan that arrived at the southern border were recently tear gassed. A lot of people were upset.
That's upsetting.
Yes. All right, let's check out Anna's latest edition of That Just Doesn't Make Any Sense.
Hey friends from the Brad Show Live, I'm Anna Azcona. I cannot believe everything that's going on at the U.S. border with Mexico. U.S. authorities fired tear gas at the Central American migrant caravan. The footage and images of this caravan is just very disturbing and hard to watch. There were children barefoot crying for help, mothers running with their children in hand, and just overall a bunch of individuals trying to escape the tear gas. Do you know that tear gas is a chemical weapon that is banned on battlefields in almost every country? And doctors are saying that the tear gas is a very harsh chemical that can affect the children's respiratory system because it's so weak. And obviously these children are being affected because they don't know any better to keep their eyes and mouths closed. Because of fear, they're going to start crying and screaming for help. The government is making it seem like the U.S. is being attacked when in fact you're attacking these immigrants that are trying to seek asylum. They're not criminals. You're calling these people criminals when they're just crying for help. They want us to help them, and that's why the caravan is trying to cross over. Yes, I understand that maybe the U.S. feels scared and threatened if they all cross over, but these immigrants are unarmed and they're harmless. Maybe they're throwing rocks to the officials, but still then, you didn't need to throw tear gas at them. That was just very harsh and cruel of our system's part. And to defend this action, Trump said that the reason why they threw tear gas is because they felt like they were being rushed by tough people. Tough people? These people are unarmed. Have you looked at the footage and images? They don't look harmful. There are plenty of photographs that show that these children were targeted directly with tear gas, and none of these people look threatening. They just look like they've been very tired and exhausted from the journey they've had to experience. So in my opinion, I don't think tear gas was necessary. I just think our system can deal with this in a much better way, or maybe try to help these individuals, maybe help their country to stop all the violence that's happening there. And maybe then they won't have to seek asylum. I just can't believe this is the type of system that we're dealing with. And it's hard for me to accept how unarmed, harmless people are being treated by our government. This is another inhumane act that our system has shown us once again. We need to change this soon and find out a better solution to help these immigrants that are trying to cross over to protect their lives and their families' lives. I just hope these families and children can recover from the emotional and physical damages that's being done to them, because that just doesn't make any sense.
Excellent job, Anna, and I agree with her 100%.
Absolutely.
Every day that doesn't make sense is getting better and better with Anna.
I absolutely
So
agree.
congratulations there.
Yeah.
All right, Belgium Kim, we got a section that we don't do often.
No, we don't.
We don't do this enough. It's called social media check-in. All right, what do we got?
Our first question is from Michael, who said, how can I find out if my father's case did any progress? His boss was sponsoring him and other employees, but it's been years. Now my father's back in Mexico, and I'm here with DACA and came back with advanced parole. But my dad said he even submitted papers for me back then. Is there any way to know where his case was, if it went anywhere, whether he can do anything for me?
Absolutely. It's called the Freedom of Information Act request. If your dad or yourself request information that the government has about you, and you can authorize the government to send it to you or your dad, depending on who's requesting it. It's called the Freedom of Information Act request. So basically, it's whatever's in your government file, immigration file, they got to send you a copy. And if you need help getting it, you come see me.
Charmaine Dennis said, hey Brad, how long does it take to replace my green card? Someone broke into my car and stole my pocketbook that had my green card in it. And I already booked my ticket to go to Jamaica in December, so now I'm worried.
Well, you're not going to get the green card, if you've already booked the ticket, but file the I-90, get the receipt notice back, and then take your ticket to immigration with the receipt notice and your passport, and they'll put a temporary stamp in your passport to show I'm leaving the country in a week. I need something to travel with.
Oh, that's nice. She has recourse, though. We've got a question from Tahira, who said, my husband's a green card holder and I'm currently in the U.S. on a B1, B2 visa. I'm within my allotted time here and have not overstayed. He submitted my documents to USCIS, the I-130 and the I-130A. And I'd like to know if I can travel back and forth between my home country and the U.S. while I'm waiting for my permanent visa.
In theory, yes. You can travel back and forth because every time you're traveling in, presumably you're coming here to visit, not live. You're visiting your husband who has filed for you. However, at the airport, each time you come in, they can make an independent decision or analysis whether or not they believe you're coming to live permanently and overstay your visa, or you are coming to truly visit. So there's always that investigation or additional questioning at the airport that you're going to be subject to, and hopefully the facts are, and you're able to prove it, that you're really coming to visit and going home. But what you can't do is come here for 6 months, live with your husband, leave 3 days before the end of the 6 months, go home for a month, and think you're going to come back another 6 months. Then they're going to stop you. If you're coming for a week here, a week there, 3 weeks here, 2 weeks there, different story. If you need to go renew your visitor's visa, they absolutely will not do it. So that's kind of my analysis of the whole thing.
That's that was a deep cut, Brad.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Carolyn would like to know, my brother who lives in Dubai married his then girlfriend who lives in Texas. He never really moved here, but would like to get a divorce from this girl. Is it possible for him to get a divorce without this girl knowing about it because he has not been able to find her?
You can get a divorce in Dubai, and whatever the divorce laws in Dubai are, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Or you can get a divorce in Texas. You would need to hire a local Texas attorney. I don't know what they do in New York I don't know what they do in Texas when they can't find somebody to get a divorce in New York, that you prove to a judge that you made a diligent effort to try to find this person, you couldn't do it, and then then the judge orders you to put a classified ad in a newspaper that nobody reads, and then the divorce continues. I assume there's something similar like that in Texas. But your choice is Dubai or Texas, so go find a Texas lawyer.
Zara would like to know, I'm a U.S. citizen and I applied for my husband's I-130. It was approved and I'm in the NVC stage now. I submitted all the documents. Can you tell me how long it's going to take to review the documents and interview my husband? My husband is in Afghanistan. How long is it going to take?
Your husband's in Afghanistan. It's going to take a very, very long time. Extraordinarily long time. It's one of those countries. Damn. You may need to call us. Seriously.
Yeah, because, they can't hold it up forever, right?
Right, but yes, they can unless you file a mandamus. We talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
When the government holds cases up, you file mandamus actions against them. And that's what has to happen to everybody, whether it's your citizenship, your green card, anybody who's filing for a spouse in Afghanistan or Pakistan, forget it. It's going to be forever.
Wow.
Thank you, Donald Trump.
Right, of course. Hashtag definitely not
Correct.
a Muslim ban.
Correct.
It is. Ed said, now this is in all caps, the entire thing. Should I scream the entire question?
Well, if that's what he wants you to do.
I asked last Friday regarding my nurse friend who overstayed on a B1 visa. What are all the alternative options to legalize her stay here in the U.S. except for marriage? She's a Filipina nurse with an approved priority date on the visa bulletin. Thanks!
What are all the options? Let me get my book out. Is there a book somewhere with all the options?
If only.
If only I had the book with the options. You need a consultation. I have no idea what her options are. Okay, I mean, you give me very vague B2 visa. There's a priority date. What do I know what her options are?
Yeah.
That's why you need a consultation.
Yeah.
Okay.
If rule of thumb, if you're at the how do I get a visa stage,
Or how do I get a
green card?
I can't answer it
Right.
without and I want to, and I can't.
Right.
If you have a specific question about a process you're going through, happy to answer you that all day long. Or a process that you're considering going through, I can answer those questions all day long. But the solve all of my life problems in a 2-sentence Facebook question on a live Facebook show, I'm not that good.
You're pretty damn good.
I'm pretty damn good, but I'm not that good.
Not that good.
Yeah.
This is a great example of a great question, Brad.
Uh-huh.
Nico said, can a person with a conditional green card file a petition for his mom?
No, you have to be a citizen.
See, that's a great question.
Because that's a specific question about a process.
About a process.
Right.
We are going to continue on Ahmed's journey. Ahmed Memo has been on one hell of a journey.
What's his journey?
So, Brad, if you'll remember, to catch up everybody who's forgotten, Ahmed sent his original passport into USCIS.
Uh-huh.
The passport is
still missing.
Is gone.
But I told him what to do.
And so this is what happened,
But
Brad.
didn't I tell him to go
You
to his
did.
consulate and say it's lost?
You did.
And he's going to say, well, how's it lost? I sent it to immigration. There's a black hole. They don't give it back. It's lost. That's what I told him.
That's exactly what you told him,
So
Brad.
now what
There's
happened?
a follow-up. He
Okay.
went to the
And?
consulate.
And?
He went to the consulate, and they said...
Get a police report.
They said to get a police report.
You can't get a police report because he sent it years ago, and the police will only give a report for something that's lost in the last 10, 14 days. I think at this point, Ahmed needs a lawyer.
You know what? I wanted to say that in the comments, but I know not to give legal
And I
advice.
knew what his follow-up was going to be, and I didn't even know it.
Yeah. Police was like, no, we can't
Can't
do that
give it to you because
ICE
it
is
happened
above
so
us.
long ago.
Right.
And
they-
also it happened so long ago.
Right, exactly.
Oh, come on,
So then
Ahmed.
he went to a federal agency. They told him to go to the police station, and he was like, but I can't.
Ahmed, come see us.
You're in a rigmarole. You are caught in a bureaucratic loop-de-loop.
Correct.
Let lawyers handle this
Correct.
from here on out. Yeah, because he can't work. He can't get because he doesn't have a social security card, so he can't get work.
We will figure it out.
We got this, Ahmed. Call us. A different Ahmed Longadas.
A different Ahmed.
Different Ahmed has a different problem.
Different problem.
I came to the
He
US.
has his passport.
He has one.
Okay,
he still
fine.
has one, I
So
swear.
this Ahmed has his passport.
I mean, listen, I've only read through half the question, but I'm thinking he has one.
Okay, fine.
I came to the U.S. in July of this year on a green card filed by my wife, who was a permanent resident. I got a 10-year green card. She got her citizenship in September. Since she's a citizen, but I got the green card as an F2A, do I need to wait for the 5 years, or can I apply to naturalize in just 3 years?
You can apply to naturalize 3 years from the date your wife became a citizen, provided you were living with her in a bona fide marriage for those 3 years.
What?
So it's not the date you got the green card.
Right.
It's the date you and your wife were living together. You have a green card. She's a citizen in a bona fide marriage for 3 years. So based on that, it's from the date the wife became a citizen, 3 years.
Right.
2 years, 9 months from the date the wife became a citizen.
Ooh, we just shaved off some time.
Yes.
Camille Taylor said, my friend is married to a U.S. citizen and filed an adjustment of status, went for the interview. She's waiting for a decision, but her husband is physically and emotionally abusive. She wants to move out. How's that going to affect her immigration process, and what advice do you have to give her?
Well, if you're going to move out and you don't have your green card yet, you're going to refile again as an abused spouse and convert it to an I-360. You know, I don't know what's going on there. Is it you had a screaming match and that's it? And you guys are fine now? Or is it if there's physical abuse or extreme emotional abuse, it's not worth staying there? It'll delay your green card. You'll have to do some more with immigration. But why would you subject yourself to that? So it depends on what's going on there.
Yeah. And we've got a good segue into that because Tanisha Tennant's question is wondering if there are any updates on VAWA.
No, not yet, because I know it's December 7th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's coming up.
Yeah.
But nothing yet.
Nothing yet. Haven't heard.
Rodika said, my mom wants to petition for my 2 little sisters. Should she send in 2 passport-sized pictures for each of my sisters with the I-130?
You send in 2 I-130s, but you do not need to send in passport photos with the I-130s. Not for filing for a child.
Okay. Carol said, my mom's a U.S. citizen since 2010 and wants to file for me. I came here in December of 2015 as a tourist and then changed my status to an M1 student. I'm now out of status. Can she file for me? I'm married, not to a U.S. citizen, with a 16-year-old son, and both my spouse and my son are living in my home country. I'm 43 years old and from Antigua.
And the mom's a citizen?
Mom is a citizen.
Yes, she can file, but you're going to wait 12, 14 years, unless you get divorced from the spouse. Damn.
Yannick has a question. She's been married to a U.S. citizen since February of this year, and they had a daughter together in September of this year, but haven't had any paperwork because they've had money issues. So we're trying to save to do it either in January or February. Is the fact that we've waited going to be a problem, or is ICE going to be sending me a letter to go home?
ICE is not going to send you a letter to go home, but ICE can trip over you at any point and put you in deportation, so do it sooner rather than later.
And Yannick's wondering, can she apply for WIC for her daughter and it won't affect her if she gets a green card, or would that affect her?
It absolutely would affect her, and if you can get away without doing it, then don't do it. I mean, if daughter's going to, be hungry, then you got to do it.
Nadisha Gooden would like to adopt her goddaughter who's in Jamaica, but she's a ward of the state in Jamaica, so how would she go about doing that?
You would do an orphan petition as long as the child's under 16. So you do a pre-adoption. You get the Jamaican Adoption Board, which is now I always forget the name now, but there's a Jamaican Adoption Board.
And every single time I Google it, and every time I forget it too.
Right, and you got to go through an orphan petition as long as she's under 16. Come see us.
It is the.
It's all right.
Oh gosh, every time.
It's all right.
They'll tell us in the comments.
Right. Every attorney who works here for me knows it, except me. I always have a blank on the name of the organization.
Barbara Lord is asking for her neighbor. She's like, I'm afraid to say friend. How long after he's married can he do a divorce? His life is absolutely miserable with his wife.
You get divorced whatever you want. What's the difference?
I'm assuming it's how's that going to impact if he's being filed for.
Well, I don't know if he has a green card or not.
We don't.
I don't know anything about it.
Barbara Lord, you know the drill.
But I will
need.
say with neighbors.
Yeah.
Okay. 12 fences make good neighbors. Don't be friends with your neighbor. That's what the saying says, right?
No, that's true.
Right, yes.
That's such an antisocial saying,
right.
though.
Stick out of your neighbor's business.
Do you
why is she in her neighbor's business?
Probably because they're friends. They live near each other.
But then it's a friend, not her neighbor.
Yeah, but she don't want to say friend because we
want
clown people who say ask you for a friend.
But now I'm clowning them with neighbor.
Do you not know your neighbors at all? You don't know a single one of your neighbors?
I live in an apartment building.
Yeah.
I don't know their particular names, but I say hello to them on the floor and say hello, have a good day. And maybe at some point when I first moved in, I introduced myself and they gave me their name, but I don't remember, But yeah, I'm friendly with them. I know who they are. I know what they look like, but I don't know anything about them.
Okay.
That's New York City living.
That is New York City living. That's so true. You would never be at the point where you're like, hey, swing by my house.
Swing by my house and let's have some tequila.
That's so weird.
And some coffee or tea, right.
So weird.
Right.
No.
Right. And Su Wang Wang, it's the Children Development Agency of Jamaica.
Thank you. That was going to kill me. So we've got a question from Doris who said, I'm a 10-year permanent resident. Can I file for a work permit for my husband and our 3 girls? They are all under 15 years old.
Well, how did you get your green card?
That we don't know.
It all depends on how you got your green card.
But you can get a work permit for your kids?
If you got your green card in a derivative, and there's a derivative category for children, and the children were alive when you got your green card, they would still fall under that old case from 10 years ago, and perhaps you can. also with the husband. Perhaps. I don't know. Other than that, if she's going to file new I-130s for everybody, the answer is no.
No, gotcha. Jean says, if you're in the country legally and don't get a green card as of yet, is there any kind of document that you can get to travel with?
Travel where?
I'm assuming outside of the country. Let's go with.
Well, if you have a pending adjustment, you can get an advance parole. But if you're just here out of status, illegal, you haven't done anything, immigration's not going to say, hey, come over here, we'll give you something to go back and forth. I don't think that's going to happen.
I got you.
Right.
They're not that amenable.
No.
Fabian said, do I have to do my interview in the state that I live in?
Yes. Whatever that interview is, the answer is yes.
Yeah, that would be like, it would be annoying if they told you had to go to New York if you were filing in Oklahoma.
Correct.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
No, you got to go to the state you live in.
Right. Sokar Omar said, my spouse's I-130 was approved 1 year ago and her visa was refused from the embassy of Stockholm because of her past medical issues. But she's doing great now and she's got a job and she's studying. The embassy wants more strong evidence so that she won't be dependent on the U.S. government when she's here because of that medical condition. We provided a really good sponsor. Do you think health insurance would be good evidence? If yes, what kind of insurance should I get?
Health insurance for any medical problem that would cover her medical problem, and then you have no issue.
That seems simple enough.
Yes.
Barbara has a follow-up to the neighbor who's in a miserable marriage. He wants to know how long after he gets divorced could he get married. He has not put in any paperwork as of yet.
The day after he's divorced, the following day, you can go buy a license to get married and get married the following day after that. So 48 hours after the divorce, you could legally be married again.
Wow, and that's not going to reflect negatively for any...
No.
We got you, Barbara.
Yeah, as long as it's what's real is real.
What's
if
real
it's a
is
real marriage, you gratify that marriage, then why not?
But you gotta play gratified
right.
marriage. See if you pass that.
That is correct.
And then check it out.
Correct.
Janet Brown said, I was asking for a friend, if you're renewing your work permit, do you have to pay again?
You shouldn't have to, but sometimes they make you. It's like so random sometimes.
That's
with
so
immigration.
random.
You shouldn't have to.
This is why you have a lawyer. It's less random when you have an attorney, y'all.
You know what we do now? We send in the check. And 9 out of 10 times, because we don't want it to get rejected.
Yeah.
We send in the check, and 9 out of 10 times they return the check. 1 out of 10 times they take the check.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. It's just.
So it's not. Sometimes it's just not worth it. So.
Right.
Fighting back and forth. And
right.
You need your work permit.
Do the check.
Right.
Less headaches. Hershid says, can I travel with advanced parole?
As long as you have a pending adjustment, yes.
We get that question all the time. Kim said, I'm 31 and I'm thinking of getting married to a man who's 62 years old. Is there going to be a problem getting filed for? I don't know if she's getting filed for or if she's filing for him, but is the age difference going to pose a problem?
If it's a real marriage, who cares? You love him, who cares?
Yes, Queen.
Are they going to question the validity of your marriage because there's a 31-year difference? Absolutely. But if you live together and you're in love, what's the difference? Let them come investigate. You say, hey, we're having, pot roast for dinner tonight. Come, you could have dinner with us. Whatever it is, they'll come investigate. They'll see you together, and who cares? Love is love.
Love is love.
Right.
I also love.
What?
Yvonne Steele said, Barbara Lord, what's going on with you and that neighbor?
Yeah, I think Barbara Lord, that's what I was thinking. It's so funny. That's what I was thinking, but I didn't want to
You don't want to put that out there, right?
But I don't want to go too far with Barbara. We had fun with her, but I didn't want to get obnoxious with her.
Yvonne went there.
Yeah, Yvonne went there. Yvonne was thinking everything we were thinking.
Jean said, I didn't hear Brad clearly. Jean was asking the question about the, let me double check that I'm thinking of the right question here. Yeah, that he was talking about he's here legally, doesn't have his green card yet, and he's wondering if he can travel with it. His follow-up was that he wants to know if he can get a stamp in his passport to just go to Jamaica and come back. Is that a doable
What's
thing?
his status here?
He said, he says he's here legally.
I don't know what that means.
Is all he's saying, but doesn't have his green card yet. So it sounds like he's getting filed for and it's pending.
I don't know what legal. I would need to know exactly what your status is.
Yeah, we need more info, Gene. We've got one from Farces by Nessa. Faces by Nessa. I was going to say. My husband filed for me, but our application was denied after 2 interviews. We're both divorced now, and I remarried. Can he file for me again?
Yes. So they got married.
Yeah.
They got divorced.
Yeah.
Spouses married other people.
Yeah.
And now they're getting married again after, I guess, that one spouse at least became a citizen. And now the question is, can you file? The answer is yes, but it's, immigration is going to say perhaps you broke up your marriage just for immigration purposes and now you're back together. So you got to be prepared and be ready to prove you and your spouse were in a good marriage. You had problems, you broke up, you went your separate ways, you married other people, those marriages broke up, and after those marriages broke up, you found each other again and realized we're in love. Something like that would make sense. Something like we were married, we were desperate, we needed a green card, we didn't know what to do, we decided to divorce, we married other people to get green cards, and now that at least one of our spouses is resolved, we said, ha ha ha, let's get married again and I'm going to file for you. That's a problem. I don't know which way it is.
It's true.
You understand?
It could really go either way.
Right. I don't know.
We don't know.
So immigration's going to think that way.
Right.
You're going to think the other way.
Right.
And you got to prove it's the first way, not the second way.
You know what that sounds like, Brad?
What?
It sounds like they need to have their ducks in order before they start filing.
Quack, quack.
Quack, quack, y'all.
That's right.
What is wrong with us?
Quack, quack.
Quack, quack. That's scarily good Daffy.
All right.
This is an immigration
Yes.
show, believe it or not. Can I squeeze a couple more in? God, that sounds like you're about to honk a loogie in my face. It literally sounds.
I want you to know, I just did a duck. Everybody just shut us off.
They're done. Everybody's like, my sound is effing
That's
up
right.
somehow. Oh. Faces by Nessa has just sent us a follow-up and saying, I think she wants the new husband. So it's not ex-husband.
No, you could get married multiple times. What's the difference? Okay. I thought I understood the question wrong.
No, that's how I
Right.
understood it as well. I
Right.
understood it the way. No, but she said, I remarried a different person.
Right.
Not my ex-husband.
Got
I understood that too, though. Patrick Stevens says, I've got a conviction in 1990 for possession of marijuana. I paid a fine of $800 at the time. What can I do now?
For what?
I'm a
He's a citizen, a resident. What can he do?
We don't know, Brad. We don't know.
I don't know what he wants. If it's in terms of getting a green card, you can't.
Not at all.
Unless it was less than 30 grams and you're going to do a waiver through a spouse.
Okay. And if he's naturalizing, trying to cover our bases here?
If it's less than 30 grams, he's not deportable.
Okay.
If it's more than 30 grams, he is.
Okay.
I don't know what his,
How much weed did you have
Correct.
on you is the question here.
Right.
And what are you trying to do?
Correct.
Cam Unruly said, will a recipient of WIC have problems when they're being filed for?
You cannot be filed for if you're a recipient of WIC. It may be a family, because you're not an American citizen or a resident.
What if it's the kids?
It's the kids that are getting WIC.
Yeah.
And yes, it could be problematic.
Gordon says, hey Brad, my question is, can someone be disqualified for citizenship if he or she failed to put the children on a DV lottery visa at the initial stage, but decided to put them on now on the application form?
Perhaps they could deny you for misrepresentation. We would need to know more.
Princess Black said, hey Brad, I've got a coworker who wants to know if they should pay again for their work permit when it expires.
We answered that already.
It's a lot.
Just go rewind about 10 minutes.
Right, exactly. Take it 10 minutes earlier. We're talking about it. We're talking about how weird it is. It's not consistent.
Right.
Prince finally said, this is our last question, I think. Yeah, it is. Prince said, if someone comes in with the medical visa B1, B2, and applied for school and the application was denied, is there any other way to get a green card? Y'all.
Green card question.
Green card question.
Call us.
Yeah.
Pick up the phone. Call moi. Have a consultation. Can't answer it. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
That's all
I
we
tell
got.
you, we're gonna sing through a show today. One of these days.
One day.
One day we're gonna have Bradshaw live musical.
On a
By the way,
special
Sokar Omar, you missed his question.
No, we talked about it.
No, how can you bring animals from a different country?
Oh, he just asked it.
How long does that paperwork take?
How long does it take?
That's a customs issue, not a immigration issue. Animals are not immigration. Animals are custom. It's property, chattel.
Aha. Gene has sent us his follow-up finally.
Who?
Gene was in legal status, but we didn't know what that meant.
Who's Gene?
He's being filed for by a permanent resident.
So what's his problem?
And he wants to know if he can go and get a stamp in his passport to be able to go to Jamaica back and forth while he's being filed for.
By a permanent resident?
By a permanent resident.
No.
No. Sorry, Gene. We tried.
All right. So with that said, Belgium Kim.
Yeah.
I was always wondering.
What were you wondering, Brad?
What to get the special people in my life for the holidays. Now, I went shopping this weekend,
You did.
Kim.
For a special
And
person.
For very special people. I didn't really get a lot. I spent a lot of time, and everything I wanted was full price.
Oh, that's no good.
It's so annoying because they have all the signs, 20% off, 40% off, and every time I go, and I'm like, I always pick out the thing that's full price.
You gravitate towards the
Right.
expensive stuff.
So I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
But I came in today, and you said, don't fret!
I have the answer.
I've got the answer.
It's true.
Because Belgium Kim went to the Renegade Craft Fair, one of the biggest craft fairs in New York City, to find unique products and gifts by artisans with all sorts of interesting immigration stories. Belgium Kim went there, Christmas shopping, and found a whole bunch of immigration stories while she was there. Let's watch.
Hey Brad Squad, it's Belgium Kim, and I hope you are feeling as crafty as I am today because I am at the Renegade Craft Fair in New York City. That's right, it's one of the biggest craft fairs in New York, attracting over 200 vendors, creators, merchants of all sorts from all over the world. Renegade is also the farthest reaching craft fair, attracting over 300,000 attendees in 12 cities across the US and the UK. So let's go do some holiday shopping together because we are going to be talking to some of the phenomenal vendors and some of the people on the hunt for some unique holiday gifts for those that they love. So let's go shopping. Brad Squad, I am here with two of the Renegade Craft Fair's organizers, Rachel and Madeline. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
How did you guys come to organize the Renegade Craft Fair?
Started 9 years ago, volunteered at the fair in Chicago, which is where we're based. We have employees all over the country. We're still a very small company.
I've been with Renegade for 5 years as the vendor correspondent manager. Get to see all the amazing talent that comes in.
What is the selection process like for the vendors?
We are really focused on like emerging talent, but we do have a lot of vendors that have been doing the fairs since I've been here. We're definitely focused on like trends, but we're also focused on stuff that will last forever. It's really a pleasant shopping experience, especially during the holidays when you feel like a lot of things are like mass produced. With artists that are coming to our fairs, they don't just like put a table out with their stuff and say like see you later. They try to make it like a unique shopping experience in their booths too.
And then as a shopper, you're bound to leave with a ton of incredible gifts, but also just like feeling so inspired because there's just so much to see. Like the actual products are beautiful, but also you just feel good about buying from someone knowing that it's supporting a handmade independent maker, and you're also getting a gift for yourself or a loved one.
Everyone has one. What's your immigration story?
Most of my ancestors came from Russia.
Okay.
Yeah. There's Mongolian history back in there too.
How far back we talking?
4, 5 generations.
My great grandmother came over from Denmark. She was like a pioneer that went from St. Louis all the way to Utah in like a covered wagon. Mormon pioneer. I'm not Mormon, but my ancestors are.
Hey everybody, we are here with Stephanie from Stone Dumpling House. Tell me exactly what is Stone Dumpling House?
Well, I've been working on a project where I want to create ceramic replicas from the Asian American pantry, because when you think about the Asian American community, there's no such place as Asia America. And so I wanted to create a project where people could just feel the nostalgia of their childhoods.
You are a first-generation Taiwanese American. How is this project personal for you?
All of the items that I'm sculpting and painting are from my childhood. I also grew up folding dumplings with my mom and my aunts and my grandmom, and so it's just really meditative for me, and I feel connected to the different generations and communities of Asian women who have been doing this labor to make food for so long.
How long have you been doing this project, and what's been the response?
I've been doing this project for maybe half a year, and I've been really surprised by the response. Different Asian Americans have felt really connected to it, and it's made me really excited about the work. I'm hoping to have a gallery show sometime in 2019 or 2020. So Eater just put the dumplings in their holiday gift guide for 2018, and then New York Mag is putting it in their holiday gift guide as well.
You have a 22 karat gold version available. Yeah. Explain the 22 karat gold version.
Gold is just something that Chinese people love. It's very auspicious, so I just wanted to make a version that was gold. And so they're 108 because 8 is a lucky number in Chinese.
We've got all of the Stone Dumpling House dumplings lined up in this gorgeous row. Tell me a bit about the display and a bit about the dumpling.
So I fold each one by hand and I make them just like real dumplings. I roll out the porcelain really thin, cut it into a circle, and then fold it up just like my mom taught me. And then it goes into the kiln, and then I glaze it and it goes back into the kiln.
What does the neon sign mean?
Dumplings.
How was your family's reaction when you started this?
He said, "How much are the dumplings?" And I said, $30. And he goes, "Dollars?" I think they think it's funny, but they're also really touched by it.
What's your family's immigration story?
My mom and my dad both came over here in the 80s. They met in Taiwan and they came over here together. They were just going to come for grad school and ended up loving and staying.
I am here with Robin, who designs these absolutely gorgeous handbags and wallets and leather goods. What's the name of your business?
It's called Serap and Rose. Serap is my maternal grandmother's name, and Rose is my great-grandmother's name. We design and manufacture small leather goods from all over Africa.
Who manufactures them in Africa?
In Liberia, we have a workshop of about 12 to 14 guys who've been working together most of their lives. And they manufacture with a thinner, lighter goat hide leather. We use traditional Liberian textile. Ours is called country cloth, so it's hand-woven traditional cloth, usually made into tunics or shirts for men on special occasions. And in Kenya, I manufacture with a small factory, 75% women, 25% men, all trained sort of on the job. None of them, knew how to do this. And then in Ivory Coast, Mali, and Senegal.
This is going to be a total sign of my ignorance on this. When I think like good, amazing, soft, gorgeous leather, my mind does not immediately go to Liberia and Guinea and the Ivory Coast.
That's exactly why I actually do this business. Yeah. I was born here in the States, but my parents are from Liberia. One of the biggest reasons why I decided to do this, about 8 or 9 years ago, I had a bag that was similar to the one that I'm wearing, and I lost it. It was my favorite bag, and everyone always used to say to me, "Oh my God, your bag is so cute. Is it from Topshop? Is it from Urban Outfitters?" And I would say, "Oh no, it's from Liberia," and they would go, "Wow, I can't believe that's African. I can't believe that's from Africa." So I'm just sharing what Africa can be with the world in my own little niche way.
What's the response been? Has it picked up?
2.5 years later, I've definitely found the people that want to buy them. 9 times out of 10, I get people like, "Oh my gosh, I bought this wallet and it's so beautiful." Those are the things that sort of keep me going. It's expanded from 12 bags out of Liberia to 3 countries across 4 production sites in 2.5 years. Expanded into footwear, which is super popular. I didn't foresee that. I think the beauty about this is that I can design anything I want. I can go and make it a real product in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Are those your warehouses, or do they get a percentage?
With 2 of them, they themselves are their own entrepreneurs. In the other 2, the workers have a salary. I went to these guys with an idea, and I drew out the bag, came back, and this is the bag that they made. And when I saw that this is what they could do, like I said, in a workshop with no electricity, so they can only work in the daytime, foot pedal sewing machine. I just got back from Kenya, and it was the first place where I'd already started working with them before meeting them. And when I walked in and they were like, "Oh, this is the lady that ordered all those backpacks," and they were like, "Oh my gosh, You're so cool. We've never had a woman like come and order this stuff before. Yes. So it's really cool to be able to know the people that make my stuff.
You talked a little bit about this, but I've got to ask, what's your family's immigration story?
People may know Liberia had a pretty bad civil war. Officially lasted 14 years. My parents and tons of other Liberians sort of had to kind of run away with one bag or nothing. Everyone sort of came over at the same time, or if you were here, you couldn't go back. So everyone was kind of like stranded in the DC area where my grandma worked at the time. My parents lived with my grandma as with many other people for the first sort of year or so of my life.
We are here with Virginie Millefiori. Hello, Virginie.
Oh, hi.
You are French.
I am.
You are making this wonderful jewelry. Tell us a little bit about the start of your business.
I started my business in Paris back in 2005, so it's been 13 years already. Wow. I moved here in 2010. So I've been making jewelry full-time for 6 to 7 years now, and I love it, and I feel like I did the right career choice.
How does one get into the jewelry creation business?
In Paris, I attended, just like here, a craft fair, and I was really impressed by all the skills of all these people. So I took adult lessons in Paris at École Boulle. I got hooked. I'm really passionate about handmade craft.
Now, I was reading a little bit about your business. You've been featured in some kind of amazing places.
I've been very lucky in Style magazine. I've been in USA Today, Martha Stewart, Favorite Makers. I guess my style is very French in a way because the use of enamel is not so current in the US. My style is also very playful and whimsical, so that's what maybe makes me stand apart. I don't know, but yeah, I've been very lucky.
I feel like I'm in a fairy princess world right now. Like, it's just very happy and the colors are beautiful. Was it always like that?
One of my very first pieces, actually Sarah Blakely has it, the founder from Spanx. So I call it Hang In There. Because life is a journey, you have to hang tight. So those were always my inspiration, very playful and very whimsical.
You have a ton of people surrounding this table. What's the response like?
People think it's cute and happy. That's the word I hear the most often. I guess it puts a smile on people's faces, and that's exactly why I do that in the first place, and the happy vibe that's throughout my booth. So that's what I try to share with my work.
I know that you said you go to a lot of these craft fairs. Is this your first Renegade Craft Fair?
Oh no, I've been doing Renegade for, I would say, maybe 6 years. I've done all of them through all around the US.
You are obviously from Paris. What's your immigration story?
I came here with my husband in 2010. So I was lucky enough that I came on his visa.
Okay.
And then a few years later, we applied for a green card under his work again.
Okay.
And that's how I got my green card as well.
Do you have a favorite piece?
I have a new favorite. We don't say he loves me not. No. We have 5 shades of love. Un peu means a little bit, beaucoup means a lot, à la folie means madly, pas du tout means not at all. So when you fidget the little petals in the daisy, you see all the 5 shades of love. And it's also very French, and so it's like a wink to my French roots.
We are here with the creators of Dandy Farmer, Matt and Paul, is that right? Yep. What is Dandy Farmer?
Dandy Farmer is a modern bonsai studio, and we create bonsai, basically.
Bonsai is taking something from nature and putting it in a pot and making it look like you have nature right in the palm of your hands.
So what inspired you to create a bonsai business?
Well, I lived in Japan for about 7 years, and I started doing bonsai there. I started working in Japanese gardens, and I started realizing how beautiful and restorative and therapeutic it was to be in a living work of art. And when I came back to New York, I thought that was such a beautiful time of my life. How can I bring that and share it with people in a busy city like New York City? Bonsai was the perfect thing to do that with. So they're like miniature gardens.
I come from a design background, I come from the fashion industry, and we thought it would be a great way to take the traditional bonsai and making it into something different and new in the city. So what better way to get a tree in someone's home in a tight little city, right?
We also know that there's a lot of first-time plant owners and maybe first-time bonsai buyers too. So we want to make it a little bit easier and more accessible. And a lot of these are even easier to take care of than normal houseplants because of the type of soil that we use and the way that we make the pot. So a lot of thought goes behind it. That's what it's all about, is creating a connection with the natural world again.
Paul, you mentioned that these were a little bit different than your typical bonsai.
Yeah. Your old school bonsai, they come in square pots. What we do is we take like a lot of different like house plants and we sculpt them to make them look like an actual tree that you see out. Yeah.
How do you do that?
By trimming or wiring. We do a lot of training to them. before we sell them.
We also have a store on Canal Street, inside the Canal Street Market. That's open 7 days a week. So, you know, we let people know that they can stop by there anytime. So we do open studios there. This is in Fort Greene in Brooklyn, and that's really cool. We do workshops. You get to see how this is done and learn how to do it too.
Do you guys have a favorite?
Right now, it's this fig over here with a moss on it.
Yeah.
It really takes you to a different place when I look at it.
I think Paul said it's like transporting the imagination and looking at it and feeling that sense of peace.
What is your family's immigration background?
I come from the Philippines. I'm Filipino, and my dad's been a citizen from his first marriage, and so I moved here later on.
My mom's from the Philippines. Dad's side of the family is from Austria, but I was born and raised in Maryland, actually.
Hey, Brad Squad. I am here with Shanae and Dominique, who are, I'm assuming, here for some hot holiday shopping. Am I right, lady?
Yes. I bought a present for my dog. He has to get a holiday present.
Of course. What's his name?
Samba.
Dominique, who are you shopping for today?
No one.
What brings you guys to this kind of event?
It's unique, you know. There's a lot of holiday markets in New York, and so this one looked a little different. So I figured, let me check it out.
And just like seeing like the little unique things that people are creating is cool. And collect cards so I can like do my online shopping later.
What kind of impact do you feel like this has on the community?
I think it's good to get these vendors an opportunity to show off their goods and their merchandise and get their brand out there.
Are you guys attracted to one particular vendor?
I saw a vendor, their little wallets were really nice. I am considering purchasing that.
Ooh, see, the peer pressure is
It
happening.
is.
And wouldn't it look cute in your purse? It would look so cute in your purse.
It would match my leather.
Oh my God. All right, Brad Squad, thank you so much for coming with me to do some of my holiday shopping. We talked to some amazing vendors, and make sure to check them out on Instagram and online. And the Renegade Craft Fair is going to be back in New York December 22nd and 23rd in Brooklyn. Until next time, peace out.
So, Kim, you get the bonsai plant?
I did not get
You did not get the bonsai plant?
But I'm hoping to talk to them because I absolutely love that.
You love the bonsai plant. I knew that was you. I was looking at all the different things you were looking at. I'm like, and I said to you, I go, of everything, I bet you got the bonsai plant. And then you said to me, what? Too expensive.
They were a little bit out of my price range.
Right. But I was looking at all the different things, and I'm like, you're a bonsai plant person.
Because I love like plants and greenery, and I have some at my desk.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
I love it. I love it. I agree with him.
All right, so we have about 8 social media questions left.
Yep.
Let's go through them quickly. We're coming to the end of the show.
Awesome. Rashid said, I've got advanced parole for the last 2 years with a work permit. How long can I travel an outside maximum of 2 months? And can I travel 2 to 3 times in 1 year with advanced parole?
Don't stay out 2 months. Stay out 2-3 weeks at the most, but you can do multiple times, but keep coming back. It's for short, small trips abroad, not big chunks.
Elsa's friend asked her what forms she needed to use when filing for a spouse, and she needs to double check that she gave her the right info. She said an I-130, an I-485, and an I-864. Was Elsa right?
I-130A, I-765, I-131 as well.
Close.
Right.
Close. Ricardo said, if you got married before 30 days, how should you deal with that?
Hire a good lawyer because you're going to need a waiver.
Faces said Van said, when I'm applying for in my second marriage, my first marriage was denied. I was divorced from that man. I'm marrying someone new. Should I get a lawyer for my second marriage application since my first one was denied?
Sounds like you need one.
Fabian said, what if my daughter's mom is in a state with my daughter and she got married to the person that she's dating? Would that cause any problem for me with my wife filing for me?
No, who cares? Your ex-wife the mother of your daughter has anything to do with you? No.
I just got that it was a different person. I was like, if your girlfriend got remarried to another dude, that's a major issue, but that's not the question. Okay. Cecil said, I'm from the Philippines. If I marry my American fiance, how long do I have to wait before I get a social security number that I can use to find a job?
Here in the United States, to adjust your status, you'll get a work permit in about 5 months with that, and you'll get the social with that.
Patrick had a follow-up. He had the 1990 possession of marijuana conviction where he paid $800.
Right.
He's a green card holder, and he wants to get his green card back. So it sounds like he was a green card holder.
I would need to know more. What do you mean by get it back?
And finally, we've got a question from Tahira, who said, can my husband, who is a LPR, get WIC for our child who's a citizen? Is it a bad idea for WIC to be given to me as I'm awaiting my green card? Is it possible for just my husband to apply without it affecting
You
us?
can't get WIC because you don't have a green card. Your husband could apply on behalf of a U.S. citizen child. I have two questions.
Okay.
One from Marge Hicks wants to know the cost of the bonsai tree.
It was like $150.
Okay, and Camille Cope says, Kimmy, what's the name of the female jeweler vendor?
Oh, she's amazing. I put her in the comments. She is Virginie Millefiori. She is Virginie Millefiori in English. She is delightful. Those are also they're not in my price point, but they are delightful jewelry that would make great presents.
And with that, Kimmy Kim.
Yes.
That was your original name, right?
Was that my original name?
So. Kimmy Kim on the
That
radio.
sounds about right.
On the radio, you were Kimmy Kim.
That's right. I was.
Comments of the day, Kimmy Kim.
Okay, we had.
Oh, we have comments of the day. I like it.
We're so fancy.
Yes.
Our very first one is from Kumari, who said, "You guys are the best of all the attorneys, Mr. Brad and his law firm."
Oh, thank you very much.
Wholeheartedly agree.
We like that. I agree.
Wholeheartedly agree.
I agree.
My Dukes said, "I'm away from home, but I gotta check in for my daily lesson and laughter."
Okay, we like that.
I'm a fan of that.
We're a big fan of my Dukes too.
Yes, always.
Yes.
I love that we provide both education
That's right.
and laughter.
As you once said, Kimmy Kim,
Yeah.
the only comedy immigration show on any channel anywhere in the world.
That's true. I love that that's now attributed to me, even
That
though
is
that was
right.
also a comment of the day.
That was right. It is the only. It's true. We are the only comedy
immigration
immigration show there is.
Absolutely.
It doesn't exist.
It is the
Right.
only way you can describe
Well,
our
you
show
know,
succinctly.
I mean, we spend a lot of money on our comedy writing team right here.
We sure do.
Right.
We
You know who the comedy writing team is? It's here and the people in the booth. It's them and us, and we just sit around and just be silly,
It's
right?
about 5 people deep.
Yes. None of us are comedy writers. We're
And
just
none of us are.
We're just funny people.
We're just naturally hilarious.
Yes, right.
Olu Rotimi got some great news, Brad.
What?
He said, "I got my letter for my oath of ceremony. I'm so happy. Thank you for all of your advice, sir."
Thank you. You're welcome.
Oh man, I skipped right over one and I'm
Yes,
sorry.
yes,
Ruthie Cutie, I did. I'm sorry. She said, "Hey, Brad Squad, thank you so much, Mr. Brad and Kimberly. I just received my sake and wine. You just topped my birthday. Happy birthday, Ruthie Cutie."
And Ruthie Cutie, why don't you send us a picture?
Yeah.
Send it to Belgium Kim, and we'll put it up tomorrow with you and your wine and sake.
Absolutely.
Now, for those who don't know, Ruthie Cutie won the contest, the share contest last week. Right?
She did. She won the share contest last week by showing the most love in her comment to Brad Show Live.
That was it, right?
That's how we picked her.
Right. I forgot what the contest was.
Yeah, Jilly Bean had 2 really great comments, and Ruthie Cutie ended up winning it. So we sent her both wine and sake for her birthday, and now she's lit, courtesy of Brad Show Live.
All right, everybody. We'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK, 1-800-529-5465.